Justin Tinsley on the essay. There's something in my brain that says I might have called him Jamal Tinsley, the former great Iowa State point guard. It's Justin Tinsley. They're doing a great job on the essay. The numbers really for Caleb Williams aren't that much different, if at all. Total yards per game down a little bit. He hasn't run quite as much, it doesn't seem. A few more turnovers. Heisman Trophy winning season last year. It's hard to put everything on him, but he went to USC, left Oklahoma for the purpose of leading.
Why is College Game Day at JMU?
That aspect of it, it hasn't come to fruition.
Should be at Tennessee.
No, it really hasn't. And you said it's tough to put everything on him. That's very true. We talked about USC's defense. They eventually relieved their DC Grinch of his duties. I think when people start to look differently at Caleb was the Notre Dame game, especially the 3 interceptions in the first half. It was inexplicable the way he played that first half, the passes he threw. I knew he was under pressure, but I thought he bounced back. I mean, he's magical. We saw it first in Oklahoma, and he went to USC and won the Heisman. You know, he's a special talent, a special player, and I think that this is going to be a big game for him. Emotional game, rivalry, and guys, we all know this may be the last time we see him in the Trojans uniform.
Yeah, he's been a great character for college football. I think we all agree. Whenever we saw him in the Red River rivalry, really put his first statement on a game. We can all remember where we were when it was like, oh, this is the next guy. Since then, he's only accounted for, 119 total touchdowns.
What's good, guys? What's good? Another Saturday. I can't believe how fast season's going.
Elusive while also being precise. He's just a guy.
I think UCLA wins that game.
I think late nights will miss our Eastern Standard Time zone on Saturdays.
Exactly. Or maybe someone wins by a field goal.
In the NFL on Sundays. He won a Heisman.
Wow, the line's down to 5.
Obviously, they're going to say it's a disappointment.
It's down to 5. In the official picks video this week, I gave out UCLA plus 6.5.
The direction of that position
looks good so far.
With college and NFL football more than his physical skill set than Caleb Williams. And I think Des can understand this because he's part of the fraternity. When you win the Heisman as an underclassman, there's a reason there's only been one guy that's ever won 2 Heisman trophies, that being Archie Griffin, that was in a different era. It's because the press and the media and the social media and the expectations are almost unrealistic. And I think Caleb Williams at times, going back to the game in South Bend, pressed. He tried to live up to what everybody thought of him, where he's just a magic man, could do everything.
Aiden, right? What the fuck, bro?
Put yourself
JMU, I get it. You want to spread around College Game Day, and whenever you have an opportunity to go to some of the smaller schools,
it is what it is, but it doesn't take away from what he's done and how
that makes sense. I get that, but like, are you kidding me? Georgia and Tennessee play today.
It was very exciting.
If I went to Tennessee, if I was a student at Tennessee, I would be pissed that College Game Day is not there.
Pick a game. You're already on Jerry Kill in New Mexico State.
Yeah, we're going to stay out west. I don't know if everybody's going to be awake for this one here and this crowd, but San Jose State late.
God
tonight,
damn.
Play the points. Chevin Cordero,
He's
10 touchdowns,
18, 28, and 2. That is dog shit. The Bear, when the Bear used to be on College Game Day, the Bear was pretty good. You know, he had good picks, but Stanford Steve, wow.
Hey, Brady Hope, right?
He's getting shredded.
Aflac, you ready? Pat, you got this one.
I doubt it.
There are 8 FBS teams with 10 wins this season. Name them.
8. Okay, the 5 at the top.
Yeah.
These guys.
Also
Liberty, State of Virginia. Liberty.
Got Liberty.
Air Force. That's 5. No, they've lost the last 2.
Yikes. Come on.
What do we got, 7? We already got 7.
We've got 7 of them right off the top.
You're missing one.
Okay, we were sneaking around.
Did you say 10 wins or undefeated?
10 wins.
So he has Washington and Oregon State on the board. It'll be interesting to see who he picks there.
MAC team. There's a MAC team.
Toledo.
Toledo.
Here we go. High five from afar.
The trivia writer, Marissa, went to Colgate. Huge brain. Very, very, very small. That felt good.
You know what? We're just like the fridge. We're 500.
Wow, that's a pretty good crowd.
Just as I mentioned earlier,
Pretty good crowd for a nobody school.
Brothers concert's going to break out.
Well, Reese, you know what's not 500? These guys up here, because the way the crowd behind me loves.
Not too bad. This coffee tastes weird. I ain't ready for this coffee. right.
Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
As we celebrate
What the
30
fuck?
years on the road.
What the fuck's going on?
Can y'all share some
College
of your
game days
favorite
at
moments?
JMU. We got the Jonas Brothers.
So many good members. We're
What
big
is
Penn
going
State
on?
fans. But to be here today with this incredible
Why is this happening?
JMU,
We're at JMU with the Jonas Brothers for College Game Day.
30 years. We're happy to be here.
Absolutely. Honorary JMU fan. I love it.
Wow,
Love you.
that is
Records is always fun.
that is wild.
And I think JMU might do it today, which is pretty great. So we'll
That
see.
is wild. Wow. It should be Peyton Manning is the guest,
Especially over there.
and it should be at Tennessee.
Yes, Kevin.
Well, you know, with as big as this is
Not
gonna go, I think
JMU.
they're gonna make enough noise. I just say let them bowl.
But it's okay. We're College Game Day. We're gonna go to JMU and we're gonna have the Jonas Brothers. Yeah.
You know what? Fine.
What the F what is this? Is this the worst game day of the year?
What about you?
Is this the worst game day in history?
Part of it, really. But I can always remember Lee Corso faking them out with the heads and then going in for another head.
Bailey Zimmerman. All right, I'll take Bailey. I'll take Bailey.
Y'all have a big performance that you need to go get ready for.
But what are we doing?
More coming up on College Game Day. Do not go anywhere. We're continuing to celebrate 30
I thought
years
Pat
of greatness
McAfee
on
had
the
more
road.
control
Let's
over
take a
this type of
look
shit,
back at
man.
that first trip back in 1993.
This is bad, guys. This is bad.
I like Charlie Ward. I like his scramble ability. Watch a goal line defense.
Yeah,
I like a block
exactly.
by Florida State.
I'm looking at your guys' comments. Exactly. Yeah, this is tough, guys. The Tennessee fans have to be really frustrated. We have Georgia playing Kentucky today. What? Oregon State? Oregon State. You could have gone to
My name's
Corvallis.
Katrina, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nugget.
You know, you could have went to Oregon State today for game day. That's a big one. And although Washington's already been involved with game day, and you don't necessarily like to have teams be involved, you know, twice or many times, it's not often that College Game Day is at Oregon State. That would have been a fine experience. You know, that would have been fine. I would have been happy to see it at Oregon State. That's cool with me. You could have been at Tennessee. You could have been at Oregon State. What are the other big games today? What else? I think that would be it. Those would be the two choices I probably would have been between for game day if I was running the production crew. I would have went to Corvallis, or I would have went to Knoxville. This is a sad day for College Game Day. Very sad. Very, very sad. Wow. It's tough to handle, guys. I'm gonna fucking cry. It's at fucking JMU at the Jonas Brothers. I'm trying to get pumped for these games. And we gotta get through this. We're gonna have to tough this out. This is tough, guys. It's a bad start to the day. What do you think about Georgia minus 2.5 and Oregon minus 14.5? Is that a teaser, I assume? Or alt spreads? I don't know what the Oregon spread is. Oh no, that is a teaser. Oregon was like what? So that's almost it's like what, an 8-point teaser? Or are those alternative spreads? I thought Oregon's minus like 24, 23. 9-point teaser, 8-point teaser? I don't know, man. Man, what's my opinion on that? God, I really would like to see the Oregon number under if you're gonna do a teaser. I would like to see you get past the number of 14 with the teaser for Oregon. I mean, Oregon easily could have put a 24, 30-point margin of victory win over USC, and they just didn't. But at the same time, you got to win with style points. If you want to make the college football playoff, you have to win with style points. We're coming down to the end of the year. So if you have a chance to really put a beating on someone and you're one of the college football playoff contenders, you do that. You make sure you win with a big margin. So they should take care of business. The Georgia... I gave out Tennessee plus 10.5 as my official pick this week. Despite the hate and the public and everyone liking Georgia, Georgia's the better team. Tennessee looked horrible against Missouri. But I just can't forget about what Tennessee did in the first half against Alabama. They're capable. They're capable. It comes down to the quarterback. It comes down to Milton. If he plays good, they could literally win the game. I have no action. I personally, it is an official pick, but I did not wager on the Georgia-Tennessee game. And college football is a crazy sport, and crazy things happen. Every single week, a big favorite will go down. And I'm not going to say that I would be blown away if Tennessee won the game outright. I really wouldn't be totally shocked, but 2.5, you're under that number of 3. It is definitely very hard to believe Georgia doesn't take care of business and probably win by about 7 points today. Somewhere around a touchdown.
Hometown hero and the head coach of the Cardinals, Jeff Brom. Jeff, thanks so much for being with us. Great offensive mind you have. You got a great defense this year too. How would you describe
find a third team maybe
in terms of calling games and complementary football?
Find a third team maybe and tease it down even a little bit more.
You're exactly right. I think as you look at our team, we played some really good defense. We're aggressive. We've been able to get to the quarterback. I think we've been able to adjust our offense.
This game's about to be an upset. I think Miami wins outright.
I think that's the key to victory for us, is really minimizing the turnovers, playing efficient football. And
Miami's about to win this game.
Coach, you look fantastic in that suit. You're really, shining out there. Before my question, I would like to remind the world of who you are.
How in the world are you starting this game tonight after taking that hit just 6 days ago?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you 2 questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. 2, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
Yeah!
That's awesome.
The epitome of a football guy. And with that statement you just made, is that who you have on your team? And how hard is it to find those types of guys in 2023, Coach?
Oregon State +6.
Well, that's back when life was fun.
KSU down.
Definitely,
yeah, I don't know about Kansas State either, Scott.
I think we do have a bunch of guys on our team that love football.
Jason Bean is going to play for Kansas. Kansas is off a loss. This is a huge rivalry. Kansas State,
they practice hard. They're great teammates.
Better overall team, more balanced, more complete team. But
every time you step on the field, you got to raise your level play.
Is going to run the ball.
Play better than you've ever played before.
They should probably score in the 30s.
Coach, you've been on a heck of a journey throughout your career as a player.
I'm not sure Kansas State is a lock. I'm really not.
Against each other, and then as an assistant coach.
I'm really not. I think you'd be better teasing Kansas up and maybe getting more points with Kansas
so many great
at home.
To now lead this program, it's got to be special.
I mean, it's college football. It's. I've done this so long, and I tease a lot of games, and it's not always a good strategy to just look at numbers and find where you can tease a favorite all the way down to where you just need them to win. Crazy things happen in this sport every single week. And if you're going to do teasers, at least to the best of your ability, try to stick to home teams. Try to stick to home teams.
Hard Rock Stadium, as you saw, Miami fans get a lot of flack. A lot of it is well earned for not regularly making Hard Rock.
Like you're better off with Oregon State, yeah, Aiden. Oh, really? Bean is a game time decision, Scott. Wow, the coach middle of the week basically said ready to rock and roll, and I thought last night on Twitter, I thought I came across a short interview or a quote from Jason Bean saying ready to rock and roll. Maybe that's a little bit of strategy
I got a lot of jokes
for Kansas State or for Kansas to try to throw Kansas State off and kind of not let them know what's going on. You know, it's not like he broke his arm or he broke his leg or maybe his throwing arm isn't like feeling good. It was a head injury. So if he cleared the protocol and he's doing good mentally, he should be good to go. So
all of a sudden,
yeah, tough
during the fourth
game.
quarter, my phone starts blowing up. I'm getting
Easiest lock of the day, Clemson.
Saying, yo, I see you on TV. I see you on TV.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of public casual bettors are gonna be scrolling down through the games. They're gonna be scrolling down through the games, and you guys are gonna and the casual people, you know, that just bet whatever here and there. They're gonna be like, oh my gosh, UNC, this team that's ranked, right? They have a number next to their name, number 22. Versus Clemson. UNC has a better record. Clemson's had a bad year. UNC still has a lot to play for. Clemson's kind of done for the season. And I get 7 and the hook. It's not only just 7, it's 7.5. So I have a full touchdown in my back pocket. So I have a ranked team that has more to play for. They're like flashy and they got this Drake May guy who's going to be an NFL pick. And I get 7.5 points. I think that's probably the biggest trap of the week. And it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible that UNC doesn't cover. They could win. Nothing is guaranteed in college football, but my God, the sports books are not that stupid. They're not. And there's just no way. There's no way these sports books would let everyone take UNC 7.5. If the game was going to be close, I like Clemson to win by double digits. It's an official play this week. And we got it at 6.5. When did I do the video? When did we do our official picks video? I think I did it on Wednesday night, right? We came on here and we did the official picks for college, and it was 6.5. So it's gone up through those key numbers. It went to 7, 7.5. A lot of the money's on UNC, reverse line movement. Yeah, if you're betting UNC, you got some problems mentally. Big ones. Is this College Game Day? I thought we were on commercials. I turned the volume down. My bad, guys.
I'm watching the game with him.
My bad.
He points at the screen, and then he's like...
By the way, guys, if you're just dropping through the stream, just click that like button. It'll let the other subscribers know I'm live.
You know what? Whenever you get out of the hospital and go back to the games,
heck yeah, I'm giving out Thanksgiving plays. We're going to crush Thanksgiving.
Wayne would not make it to another game. He died on October 17, 2009, from heart complications related to pneumonia. The 23-year-old was buried in his number 72 Miami jersey.
That moment was just like a gut punch. Losing a sibling, it changed me. It really did.
The first game that Shelton attended after Wayne's passing was that December.
College basketball,
Miami
too, guys.
versus Wisconsin
I know it's football today, but we're going to start getting into college hoops here very, very soon. I've been betting college basketball personally.
I was like, you know what?
I'm just not quite. I got to make sure I'm dialed in to start letting you guys know what I'm thinking. So I have been paying attention. I'm watching a lot of college basketball.
And
we're going to be dialed in. We're going to be dialed in with hoops this year. I feel very good this year. Very, very, very good. Excellent.
Let me keep bringing his spirit to the game with me every game. And then it just became another season. This season has been 14 years I've been doing this.
In October of this year, Hurricanes head coach Mario Cristobal invited Shelton to visit his favorite team.
Oh, man. Are you serious?
Let's go.
Oh, man.
He told me we did our research, and the reason why we're giving you 32 is that was the number you wore with your brother.
It's all good, man. It was 32 and 72.
Every game, the routine is the same. Shelton suits up and visits his brother before connecting with the community that shares their love of Miami football.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
When I get to the tailgate, everybody treats me like I'm one of their own. I just get a whole bunch of love from everybody.
How we doing?
Thank you.
I always wish that he was here to see and experience all of this. Every time I put on the shoulder pads, his spirit is there, is giving me an invisible hug, saying that, you know, I'm still here with you.
And Shelton Douthit will be there today. In fact, he is there, ready to see if the Hurricanes can knock off Louisville, keep hope alive for North Carolina, who still has a very slim path into the ACC championship game if Louisville were to fall, and if North Carolina can beat Clemson later today. But Shelton doesn't care about that, just wants to see the U get a victory in full union. What a great story from Jen Latta. Still to come on College Game Day. Big Ten picture comes together next week. Maybe a little peek ahead of time. We can do that. Buckeyes and Wolverines probably shouldn't. And Bo Nix, Oregon continues to find ways to win. Marty Smith details the journey of following his father's footsteps and then forging his own path.
There's definitely a feeling and a sense of freedom. The weight and the pressure is kind of off my shoulders now. I can just go out there and, you know, have fun and cut it loose.
Got a Jonas Brothers song coming up. A lot more on College Game Day. We're going to kick a field goal and see if we can get it. Not we. We're going to see if Pat can give away $90,000.
He said he's an athlete.
He said he's a baseball player.
Can I kick
this draft?
and cross country?
We're about to find out.
Can I hope you can.
Baseball players are the best athletes.
That's it.
Don't go anywhere. We got much more to come on College Game Day after a quick word from Duncan and me.
I don't know about that.
With the clock winding down, the pressure building, and you're really feeling the heat. What's the play?
The perfect call every time.
Is there even a line for the Bama game? Heck yeah, dude. I gave out, let me turn this down. Yeah, I gave out Alabama this week, dude. It's official play. The line was 44.5 when I gave it out. They play Chattanooga. And, you know, maybe they're... Nick Saban, Alabama's not on the radar, guys. You got to realize this. Alabama is not in the spotlight. They're not on the radar. They're going to be focused. I don't see them sleepwalking, even though they're playing a high school team today. And even if they are half asleep, they're covering 44.5. So, yeah, I like Bama today to cover the huge number. That's what I like. Thoughts on Oklahoma to cover against BYU? God, I don't know, man. There's just... I don't know. There's just no way I could touch that game. Because I for sure don't want BYU, right? There's no way I could take by BYU. BYU. All these losses.
Cover your nutritional bases every day.
I just don't. One thing I don't do, I don't bet on teams laying a lot of points against a team that has lost game after game after game after game, because it's like maybe they're finally due to at least try a little bit, and they're at home. Oklahoma killed my school, West Virginia, last week. Maybe they're a little bit too cocky, a little bit half asleep right now. I don't want either side, man. There's just way too many better games to bet on than the Oklahoma game. There's no way I could do it. Maybe live bet that game. You live bet it. You watch the first half, you cross your fingers, and you really hope that BYU gives everything they have, and they play a close first half, and then you can just live bet Oklahoma at a much smaller number. Maybe you could get Oklahoma on a live spread, like somewhere around 14. Other than that, there's no way I could touch that game. No thanks. If you're going to lay a big number today, you probably want to go Alabama if you're looking to lay a big number. I mean, Alabama could literally play third stringers, be drunk, and they're going to cover 44.5. They're gonna. It's just, there's no way. There's no way that Chattanooga stays within the number. Not at this point in the season. No. Nope.
Since when do you dictate what
I'm not
we
buying
do?
it.
Exactly. You're not the boss of us. Power to the people.
A lot of people are scared from the big spreads.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Okay, hold on. What's this?
This is Janice. And this is Emily.
Jason Bean, game time call versus Kansas State. Decision depends on how QB feels in warm-ups. Okay.
Our at-home food sensitivity
That is
test helps you determine if
that
you
is
show
huge
reactivity
news.
to common foods, such as cow's milk,
If Jason Bean,
The results were easy to
so the
understand.
spread's 9.5 right now.
Taking on a two-part
Right,
elimination
Kansas
diet.
State is
I
minus
told Janice,
9.5
my
right
neighbors.
now. If Jason Bean doesn't play, you guys better run to your sports book as fast as you humanly can, and try to get Kansas State. You're probably not going to get 9.5. That's going to move so fast it'll make your head spin. It'll probably be 13, 12.5 or 13, I would guess, if Bean doesn't go.
Back to you, Reese.
Wow, Jason Bean, I thought he was playing for sure. And that's why I gave out Kansas as an official pick this week at plus 8.5. But, hey, you know, is what it is. I guess I should have waited for confirmation and passed on that game. That other quarterback, though, I mean, he didn't look completely incompetent. Ballard, and now he's got some game reps under his belt. I'm sure he practiced a lot, expecting to play this coming week as well. It's not out of they can run the ball. They got Neal, good offensive line. You never know, but yeah, I looking back, you know, maybe that wouldn't have made official plays. I probably should have just passed on that game. Maybe the odds makers knew something we didn't, you know. It's all right. I usually don't force it, but man, Kansas off a loss, big rivalry, home field. Yeah, I just had to take a shot. I still think Jason Bean plays. I really do. He's a senior, isn't he? Isn't he a fifth-year senior? So it'd be his last home game. I'm pretty sure he's gonna play. He's gonna at least try.
Yale can earn a share of it for all of the while. We were there last year. Montana State and Montana, it's a top 5 battle. You know, it's a 44, which is about 44 degrees warmer than Herb Street dressed as Indiana Jones last year. Both of them have an opportunity to make it into the FCS playoffs. The Soul Bowl, All-Court State.
Yeah, Scott, not a bad roll of the dice to take Kansas State and hope that Bean isn't playing, you know. And if you take Kansas State, and even if he does play, Kansas State's still a very good team. They could for sure cover the number. Yeah, don't love the game. Don't love the game now, but you know what? It is what it is. Let's see what happens. Do I bet baseball? I mean, in the summer when it's the only sport you can bet on, I bet like $1 just to like have something to bet on. But I don't put baseball. Baseball makes 0 sense to me. You bet on a game where they have a pitching advantage against a team that has no offense and one swing of the bat and 3-run shot, team wins the game. It's just, I don't know. Baseball makes no sense to me. No, I don't bet on baseball. I'll just say no. I'll sprinkle like $1 or maybe $5 on some games throughout the summer if I'm that bored and have to bet. But nah, baseball stinks.
Today, Arizona, man, have they been heating up? Look what they've done. The last 4 games, blew out Wazoo, took down Beeve, who everybody loves, and they won against UCLA and Colorado. And now a chance at Utah. Wildcat boss Jed Fish, who's done such a great job as Wired.
Go, Yancey. Have a great day today, DJ. Have a great day today. Hey, Montana, that's a great play, buddy. Great play. DJ, 24 today. 24 today. Yeah. He's getting in the close-up. Yeah, I would have thought maybe 22. 24, all of his best years might be behind him already. I don't know. This is a tough song for you. You don't have the kind of rhythm to dance to a song like this. T, the fans are clamoring for you to take one of those punt returns to the house. Too easy. Too easy. So this team that's coming in here, they're tough, they're physical, they know how to win. It's time to have that same mentality back, okay? We're tough, we're physical, we know how to win, right? It's at our place. We got to take the mentality that everything we do, we got to do at the highest level over these next 72 hours.
He has changed mentality.
Did I give out?
Sure.
I don't think I gave out Arizona.
Team
Did I?
that Utah has played. What do you expect? You're going to give me a quick pick on this from Utah?
Arizona's hot. Utah's not. Arizona.
Did I give out Arizona this week as an official play?
USC. They lost that game in 3 overtimes, but the way they kept fighting, there's something special about this team. And since then, they've won 4
I don't
in a
think I
row.
did.
They get 5 today.
I agree with you guys.
I don't think I did.
Special. Winning streak stops today. I'm going to go with the Utes on the road.
All right.
Win that one.
Tough game to pick.
The real question
Good game to watch.
is if the game's decided by a field goal, would the guy knock it through? Coach Zero Sugar fan camp showing us here in Harrisonburg. And Pat McAfee and Kirk are out there. I think they found somebody ready to kick a field goal.
Reese, it is an honor to be on the quad in front of Wilson Hall here in Harrisonburg, Virginia. This place is epic. Now, speaking of epic, a man who has joined us who will be the celebrity guest picker from the podcast, Pardon My Take, one of the biggest brains of all time, PFT is here. You'll be helping our man. What's your name?
Brandon Young.
Brandon Young, you go to school here?
Yes, sir. I'm a junior.
What's your major?
Sports and recreation management.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
No, sir. Baseball.
Love it. Have you ever thought something negative about a kicker before?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're a terrible guy. Today, $90,000.
Iowa State, Texas.
This could be a Saturday that'll change the next 6 months for you. PFT.
Iowa State,
You've
Texas.
obviously kicked field goals with an XFL jersey.
Let me look at one thing.
What would you say to our guy?
I want to look at the.
Some tips to get him going.
I would say what the great Morton Anderson taught me. He was my protege. He taught me everything that I know. He said the middle never changes, and you can't ice.
Be ice today, cuz $90,000 if you put it through. Herb Street will be the one holding this thing. Nobody's been able to do it. But on the day where the biggest crowd in the history of game day is surrounding you, why not today, cuz?
History, baby, history. That's all I got to say.
If you miss, Herb Street will laugh in your face. You will get no $90,000. Let's get to it. Here we go, Herbie.
I think he's got a shot because he's a baseball player.
Oh, you like him?
You don't have respect for baseball players, but
Shohei Ohtani.
How you feeling? You got this? Yo, you got this.
Nervous, baby. Let's do it.
Aim, like he said.
Aim
right upright. Aim right upright.
All right, enough with the tips. Enough with the tips. PFT, Morton Anderson, Herb Street.
Let's watch this kick. I got some data on the Iowa State game I want to share.
You break a record here. If you're able to bury this 33-yard field goal, kicking is easy is what you have said to kickers before. Others
I bet he's going to make it.
Now, 90 racks on the line.
The ball's in the shade. You can't even see it. Oh, my God.
Killed a kid.
Oh, my God, that was bad. Wow. Wow.
That was awful. He's got to have one more shot. He killed somebody.
No, not hit. No, you stunk. Sorry. You don't get another kick. How about this? This dog has been barking at me on social media, been kicking field goals all around town. Duke Dog, if you make this kick, we'll donate $100,000 to the Blue Ridge Food Pantry right here in town. 100 racks on the line. Herbie,
wow, that kick was bad.
You're kicking that way.
I didn't know it was possible to kick that bad. I had no idea.
Sent me a video.
Wow, Kansas State favored 10 now, guys. I think Jason Bean's probably not going to play. I don't think the books would keep moving the line.
Trash on Instagram. 100 racks of charity. This dog stinks. Now, we're not going to let this day end. Yeah, that was terrible. That was bad. You're a good mascot. Terrible kicker. A lot of chirping. So, since nobody's been able to do something awesome here.
You want to step up?
As a man who has kicked a football before, how about $250,000 donation if you bury this 33-yard field goal in front of your Duke family.
Yeah, I'll do it, and Big Cat's going to match.
I've heard about you guys' business. He's doing well.
That was a joke, Pat. That was a joke. I want to get ahead of this. He's not actually going to match, but I will make it for $250,000.
Here we go. Here we go. He's got cleats on.
I had no idea they were going to ask me. Somebody boys run.
The microphone's cutting out, but that doesn't change anything.
You gotta move over so the ball is not in the shade. It's just hard to see. It's tough though. There's no way as a righty kicker the ball would be in the sun. It's just hard to see. All right, we gotta get this kick done. I gotta talk about this Texas game. I like this Texas game.
$250,000 donation to the Blue Ridge Food Pantry. Oh! All right, back to you, Reese. That was sorry about it. Great attempt. No money to nobody. What a day.
Yeah. I had to try to save you from giving away more money. We're finding all kinds of ways to give it away. I'll tell you who is making
So, with this Texas game, 90% of the money, getting some money lines on Texas. However, 58.7% of the money against the spread is on Iowa State. Despite 60% of the money against the spread on Iowa State, it's still 7.5. Pretty low total, 45.5. Iowa State's defense is good. Home field for Iowa State. Campbell's usually a good coach as an underdog for Iowa State. I don't know. I think, well, for sure I wouldn't bet this game. I think
You got to start all the way back when this guy's a kid and he's on the sideline holding the ball for his dad.
I think I'd take Iowa State.
What that boy would say about what he's done so far.
I think I'd take 7.5 with Iowa State. But a general rule of thumb when you're betting on football, public underdogs, not a good idea. Taking an underdog. Let me just say this real quick. 3 main points for Texas Iowa State. Iowa State is a public underdog. Texas can still make the college football playoff, win the Big 12, all that. Iowa State's offense disappears at times. Home field advantage is good here. Iowa State's defense is very good here. But is that enough? I don't know, man. Texas got some speed on that team. I think they're going to be ready for this one. Gun to my head, I think you have to lay it with Texas. I'm not willing to touch this game. I don't want Texas to win by more than a touchdown on the road to Iowa State. But to sit there and watch that game, just hoping that Iowa State can keep it a one-score game, yeah, I don't like that either. I'd pass on the game. I'd lean Texas.
Don't mess up.
Nix is back, throws it downfield, touchdown Williams! And the legend of this legacy quarterback at Auburn is born.
It started out so well, and then sometimes it's hard
that
to
kick
get
was
back
horrible.
to those
I'll be right back. I
highs,
gotta
and
go
it's
get
hard
a
to
phone
meet those
charger real quick.
expectations all the time.
While Bo acknowledges the weight of external expectation, he says he felt even greater pressure from within.
You know, I had to do this or I had to do that for the whole entire university and do it for all the fans, and I just wanted to do it all and, you know, try to be Superman at times.
Nix looking, throws the ball to the end zone. It's intercepted! Oh, my!
He did not react as a normal quarterback at Auburn to the low points because it was Auburn.
It wasn't always easy to hear the fans boo you off the field, and those losses were hard, and nobody wanted it more than myself, and I think that's what kind of hurt.
After a 2021 season that ended with a 6-7 record and a broken ankle, Bo made a decision to change his path.
The first time, Bo needed to put Bo first and not Auburn first.
I thought that it was time to be refreshed by another place. And, thank goodness that Oregon was there, because it's been the best decision I could have ever made.
Here's Bo. Inside throw and another touchdown, Oregon. Bo Nix. A keeper for Nix, and he gallops across the goal line. Touchdown, Oregon.
There's definitely a sense of freedom. The weight and the pressure is kind of off my shoulders now. I can just go out there and, have fun and cut it loose.
He's really another coach on the field for us. He sits in our coaching meetings. He just operates at a completely different level than anybody I've ever been around.
Nix over the middle, throws James wide open, 10 to the 5, and he's into the end zone, touchdown.
This season, Nix has Oregon in the college football playoff hunt and himself near the forefront of the Heisman Trophy discussion, all while creating the legacy he dreamed of, even if the path wasn't the plan.
What would Oregon Bo Nix say to Auburn Bo Nix about what's to come?
Well, I think, honestly, he'd laugh at him and just say, you're kind of feeling sorry for yourself, all down in the dumps, and, the best is right in front of you. Just keep doing what you're doing and keep taking the next right step, and you'll have a chance to do what you wanted to do.
At the DoorDash dashboard, take a look at how the Heisman odds have moved around over the course of the season. Favorites have fallen off. They've moved back to the top. Caleb Williams is holding.
Can't find a phone charger. Whatever. I'm on a decent percentage. I'll be all right.
Oh, and then he slipped behind Michael Penix Jr. Penix came in odds.
What's this, Heisman?
J.J. McCarthy vaulted to the top. Penix moved back after week 10, and now look who's there. A potential showdown for the Heisman Trophy in the Pac-12 championship game. If Washington and Oregon are able to make it there, and there's a long way to go. Beavers are going to have a little something to say about that tonight in Corvallis against Washington, then next week against the Ducks. Both of those guys, all of those guys, in fact, you saw on the Heisman odds board, will be in play. The Home Depot College Football Awards show, Home Depot Coach of the Year will be awarded. That's December 8th, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN. You can check out the Home Depot College Football Awards. And still to come on College Game Day, Georgia, as we told you, back on top. Now they've got to go to Rocky Top. Things not quite as good this week in practice as the Dogs have been accustomed to. We'll look into that. And the Jonas brothers, they
Scott, that's pretty solid. Yeah, that's pretty solid. If Jason Bean turn this down. If Jason Bean doesn't play, then I like it more.
Spends the whole year making toys.
2 road games though. 2 road games for conference play.
Teaching those
2 road games.
Build their own homes and communities. That doing is a gift you can share.
I almost wish. So why only 7 points, Scott? If you did 3 teams, why only 7 points? Obviously, that's plus money. Jesus.
Is this a collab for Good Burger too?
Yeah, I mean a 3-team 7-point teaser is plus money. What is that? Plus like
Some people just know that
135 or something. So maybe you're going for a bigger payout. I would.
You don't want to ride with Paul or Sarah.
I would like to. Whenever I take road teams in a teaser,
And you don't want to rate based on Ben. He's got some
I try to find numbers to where I have a field goal in my back pocket. It's like, I really like this team to win. I don't like the spread. I'm going to tease them all the way past the 0 mark. So worst case scenario, if somehow the other team drives down the field, end of the game, and wins it on a game-winning field goal, I get saved by +3. But, plus 120, okay. But, I mean, that should hit, man. If Jason Bean's out, I have no idea how Kansas State doesn't cover that. Texas, they just have so much to play for, but that game definitely scares me, man. The Texas-Iowa State game scares me.
Immediately it feels like
I really...
I recommend Sensodyne.
Every single... I say this all the time. I say this every week, and it happens every week. Just about. Every week, college football, one of the top-ranked teams has to lose. Now, today, that could be Washington, right? Washington could go down today. Michigan is at Maryland, pretty unlikely. Texas, 7 in the country, at Iowa State. Spread's only 7.5.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone.
I mean, they didn't look that good against TCU. Should have lost to Kansas State.
How does he have time to visit everyone?
Road environment.
Well, he has VIP parking.
I find it hard to believe Texas loses, but man, if I had to pick a top 10, let me look at the top 10. Let me look at the top 10. Let's look at the top 10. Let's look at the top 10. If I had to pick a top 10 team to fall today, I'll give you my top picks, upset picks. I already did upset picks this week too, by the way. I have a video out on that. Check it out. So Michigan's at Maryland. Hard to believe that one, but it's possible. Oh, Louisville. Louisville's 10 in the country. They're at Miami, so that could be an upset. Penn State's beating Rutgers. Everything else looks pretty good. Tennessee over Georgia. Boy, that's not impossible either. I mean, some of these teams are losing today. There's going to be top 10 teams that lose today. Florida State's taking care of business. They play nobody. Missouri, Florida. I mean, Florida's look okay at times, but they're overall pretty bad. It is kind of a letdown spot after Missouri's last game, but Missouri's home. They'll take care of business. So yeah, if I had to pick two top 10 teams to go down today, I would go with number 10 Louisville to go down at Miami. And I'd go with Washington number 5 to go down at Oregon State. If I had to pick a third, I'd probably take Iowa State to beat Texas, so hopefully that works out for you. I don't... That line should keep moving, right? The fact that it's stuck where it is a little bit concerning, but who knows?
You gotta get it tighter, y'all. Okay, Rev, ready. Ray, let's go. Go, Rev. Go. Hey, Rev, Ray! Here you go.
The imputation that Kentucky had no chance against Florida was not based in fact and was purely based on historical ineptitude, and I deeply regret any distress that my comments might have caused.
It doesn't do any good if you just stand in it. The Arizona swim team has jumped in. There's a beheading going on. To see him. Oh, no.
I asked LC, did you and Bill Murray, did you rehearse that? He said, no, I had no idea he was going to do that.
That's an ugly campus.
What just happened?
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Road testing game ready. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear is more driven. On Rocky Top, Georgia goes for its 28th straight win. That would tie an SEC record set twice by Alabama. One of the tied streaks.
I think this Tennessee-Georgia game is going to be very competitive. Very competitive.
One of the few times this season, Georgia's typically intense. Bloody Tuesday practice was a little bit lackluster. Maybe it's because
37,
they saw Tennessee's Bloody Saturday, in which
33.
They got stood on the business end of a bludgeoning at the hands of Missouri.
No, that's too high scoring.
Don't
I'm an
worry,
idiot. That's so dumb.
Time to perk up.
27-23, maybe 27-23.
Stadium today to sing Rocky Top. Although, truth be told, if you think about it,
I think it's gonna be close.
Song when you're dealing with Georgia is probably
I think it's probably a
hit 9-5. You know, the one where
3 to 7 point margin of victory. I think Tennessee covers.
Just a step on the big dog's
I really think Tennessee covers.
Georgia remains undefeated. The Dogs have now won 6 straight in this series.
Georgia's a pretty good team. They're pretty tough, but if we can carry our mentality, our focus, we should be ready for them. Offensively, they got dynamic playmakers. A few of those guys are just getting back and getting truly healthy right now.
I just wanted to come out of the team and all the guys in the locker room and try to help the team win.
We're really just trying to get prepared for those guys and attack them before they can attack us, get them on a different level.
I can't believe Gameday didn't go to Tennessee. That is criminal. That's so bad. Horrible. By the way, guys, if you're just coming through the stream, drop a like on the video. It's the only request I give here on the channel. Almost time to get to picks. It's 11:03 right now, Eastern Time. So another half hour, 40 minutes, and the picks will start rolling.
This offense is getting some work done, Kurt.
Yeah, we talked all week, really, during the broadcast about getting healthy and having balance. And Pat, I know you had Cody Schrader on Missouri 255, and all the talk this week is, Georgia's going to kill Tennessee. This is a game where it's going to test. This is not the Georgia team from the last couple of years. New leadership, new identity. So now you have a new personality. They'll be tested in this game because Tennessee still has athletic ability, and they feel like, I'm sure, they could save their season by knocking off Georgia. Georgia's offense, I think the most thing that stands out, you have an offensive coordinator in Mike Bobo, but you can run the football if teams sit back, and if they come up on their running game, you have the ability to throw it. And we'll show you exactly what we're talking about. Time now for Easy Choice presented by Geico. Let's look at the balance that we saw last week. Remember, Ole Miss, a top 10 team, led the top 10 in the nation in sacks, but this is what was happening, a bludgeoning up front. This is what Tennessee's going to have to prepare for after Cody Schrader, Missouri, ran for 255. When they run the ball, Bowers comes back, and it's not just making plays with Bowers. He occupies safeties, and attention to the defense opens up for Ladd McConkey, and a good job by Beck looking off that safety. This is just not fair. A tight end at 6'4", 245 with this kind of movement at the stem.
Look at that wiggle it does.
The wiggle, and that size, a safety or a linebacker, it's a mismatch. Yeah. I think he's going to be one of the elite players when he goes up to the next level. The only way Tennessee's able to hang around in this game, because their offense has been moving the ball in the red zone. They're not punching it in. They're 108th in the nation, cannot afford to do that. They'll move the ball, but can they score touchdowns today against that Georgia defense?
Yeah, the Georgia offense has been fun to watch, especially since Ladd McConkey's return. He's led them in receiving yards since he has come back, and obviously Adam Brock and with Carson Beck, who I think is a solid little Heisman sprinkle with everything he's got going on, averaging 300 yards. I think the story of this game for me is the timing of this game for Tennessee. What they did last week against Missouri was all systems failure. Yeah. Normally they run the ball very well. They average like 211 yards in every other game. Last week, 83 against that Missouri defense. I assume Georgia defensive line is going to be okay as well. And on the offensive side of the ball, they give up 250 on the ground, 275 through the air. Bad game last week. How do you bounce back? Oh, the back-to-back national champions of Georgia who are playing their best football. This one could get ugly down in Knox Vegas.
And that's what they're hoping, especially Georgia. But when you look at this Tennessee team, if I'm Kirby Smart, I'm saying, listen, guys, we took care of our business against Ole Miss. We looked great. Tennessee looked bad. But that's not the version of the Volunteers we're going to see. This is a rivalry game. We're about to get their A game, their best shot. So if you go out there thinking you're going to play against the same team that you saw a week ago on film against Missouri, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Tennessee's coming. This is going to be a competitive game. I love what I see out of Georgia, especially that offense. Now they got all their weapons there.
Yeah, I think we're all seeing the same. Georgia's peaking at the right time. They get healthy at the right time. But remember this. I'm with Dez. This is not going to be the Tennessee team from last week. This is a chance to salvage their season in a game against Georgia who's undefeated. You can run the ball on Georgia. I don't recommend between the tackles. You can get to the edge. Tennessee can run the ball, and if they can, it's going to come down in the red zone. Are they kicking field goals? Are they scoring touchdowns?
Jalen Wright popping off today.
Yeah,
he could get 20 yards last week.
He can get some yards today.
He's had a great season. If he gets some, I could see it. But I love this Georgia team. I think they are dominant.
They just can't show up. They just can't show up today.
I agree. Don't roll the ball in the field.
I'll make this prediction. If Tennessee wins, goalpost right in the river.
Oh,
again.
That's a beautiful town over there.
I'm not saying they're going to win.
Sankey may charge them $500,000. I don't know. Those goalposts are going in the river if they do it.
$500,000.
Across the state, it takes about 4 days to drive from Knoxville to Memphis. But SMU And Memphis still has a chance at a shot in the American Championship.
Yeah, both teams 8-2, Reese. I just think they're getting too many points. You see SMU on the road, given 9.5. Memphis more than capable of a team. Great offense. There'll be a lot of points in this game, but I think Memphis stays close enough. We'll take the 9.5.
I like the fridge today. No, I just want to.
I don't think he does.
No, I actually want to ask a favor. Can that be one of the two you get right? If you don't mind.
I'm trying to get one right.
No, all
You've
four.
been doing that.
All four. We're getting all four right. In James Madison, in Harrisonburg, Virginia. The vibes are too high. You're going 4-0 today. Let's go.
We'll see.
Your negativity is going to ruin it.
It's coming up in just a little bit.
Playing not to lose.
Yeah, we need to win. We need to dominate. Kurt Signetti, like their defense.
Michigan is on the road without Jim Harbaugh at Maryland. DoorDash counting down to kickoff just over an hour away. Roman Wilson, their standout wide receiver, is wearing a shirt which reads, "Free Harbaugh." Now, Adam Rittenberg reported yesterday that Harbaugh was going to travel with the team, but not in the stadium, obviously, as that is part of the institution's penalty handed down by the Big Ten. The NCAA investigation continues on. Pete Thamel is back with us right now. So, Pete, a lot changed in the Michigan situation within the conference. Where does it stand right now with that and the NCAA looking forward?
Well, Reese, let's reflect back to last week. Around this time, we had just learned that a judge would not rule on the temporary restraining order, which prohibited Jim Harbaugh from going to the sidelines. Remember, Michigan's lawsuit the night before included accusations that the Big Ten suspension was unlawful and unethical. Well, the following days, actions spoke a lot louder than those words. We saw Michigan withdraw the lawsuit, accept the suspension of Jim Harbaugh for the remainder of the regular season, and then yesterday fire linebacker coach Chris Partridge. Sources told ESPN that the factors that prompted those changes in actions included a booster, information coming from the NCAA investigation that a booster had funded Connor Stallion's illicit sign stealing operation, and there was information that Partridge allegedly tampered with the NCAA investigation. This all adds up to the surreal reality of next week, a playoff elimination game where Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh will not be on the sideline for the game.
Interesting.
All right, Pete, and that creates a kind of a remarkable potential scene should Ohio State go in there and win next week, and then what comes of Michigan after that. But they've been on a collision course all year long. There was a long time we talked about a three-way with tie with Penn State. Both clobbered Penn State. Ohio State, Michigan, winner clinches the Big Ten East, almost certainly will win the Big Ten championship game. Now, Michigan is going for its 1,000th win in program history. They're already all-time wins leader, but in sports, we like nice round numbers. Nobody's won 999, but we get to 4 digits with Michigan when they win their next game. And the only team allowing fewer than 10 points per game, the Buckeyes and the Wolverines. They're not supposed to look ahead, but we can a little bit to this showdown for sure.
Absolutely, especially whenever you think about just a year ago after Michigan went into Columbus and got that big win, what the storyline was for Ryan Day. Ryan Day knows that all year you can be number 1 in the college football playoff ranking for numerous weeks. You can look fantastic. But if you lose to Michigan in the state of Ohio, they will try to kick you out of there. So this week, they have an opportunity against Minnesota where they're going to run 5 different running backs. We know Michigan's going to run the ball. Let's go ahead and try some new stuff out this week. This is a nice preseason game as we get into the massive one next week. And then Michigan against Maryland, obviously still working on the sideline ops without Coach Harbaugh there. There's a lot that can be done today that'll help next week. And I think both these teams will take advantage of that.
Yeah, you look at Ohio State, I think they're
still no word on Jason Bean.
Earlier in the season, they had problems with their running backs.
Game time decision.
That's how they butter their
Interesting.
bread. They want to run the ball. I understand they got Marvin Harrison Jr., exceptional wide receiver, but they still need to run the ball. Trevion Henderson is a weapon. We were at the Notre Dame game. He was the difference in that game. And now that he's back in the lineup, they're looking like Ohio State of old, able to run the ball with Trevion Henderson and then play action pass to Marvin Harrison Jr. I think.
All right, live update. Miami has now flipped to a favorite. Miami is now -1.5. You can get a money line at -110. Take the point out of it. 1.5 out of it. Louisville going down today to Miami.
Win this game. 20 points, 23, 24, 27. It could be that kind of game. Ohio State's offense is trying to build with their quarterback and their offensive line for this moment. But for me, and I think a lot of Ohio State people, their lasting image of the game last year, late in that game when Donovan Edwards, bang, went 80, bang, went 80. Jim Knowles has retooled his defense from that game in the Georgia game into this year for next week. It's looked great. We'll find out next week how much it's truly improved.
1 week away from this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Definite college football playoff position.
Yeah.
And the Iowa Hawkeyes probably in Indianapolis. That's a big-time game.
I thought my guy giving us the weather forecast.
You know he's already
Allie told me because I got to bring the coat finally.
By the way, that Big Ten West is a little messy, but if Iowa wins today, the Hawkeyes have their spot opposite the winner of that game.
Ties walk up, see if they got a chance.
Iowa, Illinois, I believe, today. So next week, we will be in Ann Arbor, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Ohio State and Michigan.
It'll look like that next week.
There you go. We get a big scene, and we'll look forward to this game. A rare treat with both.
Wow, next week's going to be so hype.
We've got a great treat here during the commercial
I think Oregon State and Oregon is next week as well.
The sound check, and now the real deal, ladies and gentlemen.
It's one other big game.
Please welcome the
I think Alabama plays Auburn, right, next week? Iron Bowl. I think they're at Auburn. That'll be interesting. This is so sad. Oh no, this is bit. Wait, he's playing with the Jonas Brothers? This is yeah. This is so fucked up. College game day could have been at Tennessee or Oregon State, and we have JMU, and now we have the Jonas Brothers performing. ESPN, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. ESPN. What is this? Jonas Brothers and JMU is college game day. This is some sad shit. Why? Yo, Dan, it's your number one YouTube follower. What do you think of West Virginia against Cincy? I like West Virginia. Yo, what up, man? Look, I went to West Virginia. West Virginia is my school. It's kind of a rule of mine. I don't bet on them. I don't bet against them. Cincy's trash. Cincy's not a good football team. West Virginia off the embarrassing loss against the Sooners. I find it very, very hard to believe that the Mountaineers don't cover that number. They're going to run the snot out of the ball. I don't know if you can get it. Look at a prop bet, rushing yards for C.J. Donaldson. Take the over. They should be able to run the ball all day. You never know with West Virginia, though. They can muff a punt, turn the ball over. Hard to say the execution of West Virginia, but it's been a pretty good year. They've overachieved. Neil Brown, I think he's kind of off of the hot seat now, and they're already bowl eligible. They got that monkey off their back. Now they're trying to just kind of pour on the wins and maybe finish the season 8-4 if they can get these last 2 wins, which would be stellar for the Mountaineers. Their program's really been hurting. Certainly isn't where it was when I was there at school. I mean, I was at College Game Day. That's where this hard hat came from. Came from Morgantown, TCU, the TCU game. So I was front row for that one. Yeah, I like Mountaineers. I like the Mountaineers. There's no way you could take Cincy. There's no way you could take Cincy. It's West Virginia or pass. Maybe look at a teaser. Take the points out of it. West Virginia, they fall asleep sometimes. Maybe a late score is like a backdoor cover for Cincy, but 5.5 point teaser. Find a team that's like a 2.5 point underdog. Get them up above a touchdown. Tease that with West Virginia. You'll just need West Virginia to win on the money line. Something like that might be a good opportunity to do a little teaser bet. Teasers in college football are generally a bad idea, but I don't know. I hate laying points with West Virginia. They win the games they shouldn't win, and when they're favorites, sometimes they mess up. I wouldn't be surprised if they win by like 3 points. So, but yeah, if I had to choose, man, I'd roll with the Mountaineers. Their line of scrimmage is too good on offense. I think they're going to be able to score. I mean, West Virginia is scoring at least 30 today. So can Cincy keep pace with that? I'm not sure. West Virginia is probably getting 33, 34 points today.
Wrapped in a tortilla blanket. Now that's a deal, baby.
The Sonic 99-cent Fritos chili.
You teased West Virginia down to 1.5. There you go, man. Exactly. Who'd you tease it with? Who'd you tease it with? By the way, guys, if you're just coming through the stream, smash that like button. Take you about half a second. Helps the stream out. Lets people know we're live.
So I thought I'd give it a try. And that's when I learned why the Michigan Wolverines
Down to 1.5. Why didn't you tease them past 1.5? You know, they're only favored. What, 5.5? 6?
Everything in moderation.
You didn't want to tease them to,
Except for
0.5. So if they win by 1, you're still good. I mean, 1.5 should be good, man. But
your paint is really bad.
I don't know. Maybe the spread's higher than I think. Maybe it's up to 6.5 or 7 or something. I haven't looked here in a little bit.
Today, let's paint. Right now, get America's most trusted paint brand at a new low price. Bear, only at the Home Depot.
Oh, man. Time's going slow today. It's only 11:18. I feel like I've been watching College Game Day for 5 hours. I want to get to these picks. At least that Jonas Brothers shit's over. My God. Never again. I gotta go on Twitter. Let's see what people are tweeting. Who else is pissed about this? Let's look at it. College Game Day trending. Why is it trending? Let's see what people are saying.
When did you last?
Let's see.
Feel something beyond the everyday, beyond the extraordinary, beyond imagination. Feel it now on PlayStation 5.
We're in the security business. Our job is to help people feel safe.
Yo, yo, listen to this. Listen to this, guys. 4 minutes ago on Twitter, someone says, what mental midget producer at ESPN College Game Day thought, hey, here's a great idea for college football fans. Let's have the Jonas Brothers perform and have Game Day at JMU. Wow. What else? Anything else in here? Yeah, I don't know. Some people are not happy about it. It's pretty whack, honestly, but they got a pretty good crowd there. It's just no one really cares. Should have been at Tennessee, let's be real. It's a sports betting card. That's all it teases down to. Okay. Sports betting card, interesting. You teased West Virginia, Clemson, Oregon State, and Missouri. Good choices. Good choices. Very hard to believe that doesn't hit. You never know, but that's... I mean, those are solid. And, you chose home teams, which is smart when you're teasing. Chose home teams. Very hard to believe that doesn't hit. I mean, it's something crazy would have to happen, you know? I would say the one that is the biggest risk would be Oregon State, probably. Just because what do you have Oregon State at? You probably only have them like plus 3.5 or something, plus 4.5. So if the game is tied and Washington scores on a game-winning touchdown, you know, that would bust it. But I think Oregon State probably wins today, so you should be all right.
You wouldn't want that. No, look at this. No, of course not. No Zero Sugar fan cam. If you weren't with us earlier, you've missed a crazy.
I'm gonna get some water. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
A fan was going to get Lee Corso's signature tattooed to his body. How's it look?
Oh, he did it. That's good. It's official. That's a great autograph, Coach.
It is. Now we work the right leg and we do his face. Those guys were great. They killed it up there on stage. That was fun.
The Jonas Brothers were fantastic. Bailey Zimmerman.
They were also bartending last night in town.
I heard that.
Really,
yeah. Did you run across them last night?
I did not. It was too wild and chaotic where they were, but they've won me over. I will say, what a crew. What a crew.
Pat has an image like he's wild and crazy on Friday night. Opposite. He's not doing that. 9:30. He's prepping and going to bed. I know that hurts your image.
James Madison, Appalachian State today. This is a party, but they've got a big game coming up.
The NCAA officially denying James Madison had a chance at a bowl game for the season.
No reason that JMU cannot go to a bowl game.
To us, to me, it's noise and clutter. Turning off social media, quit reading the articles about undefeated teams, because all that's going to do is detract from our mission.
Regardless of whatever goals we're not, we're always going to have a chip on our shoulder.
Touchdown, James Madison.
I think the resume speaks for itself. Every week we go on the field, we dominate.
James Madison will move to 10-0.
Well, there's high standards and expectations here. Our goal this year was to do something great.
Now what are we going to do?
Sat down at the beginning of the year with the goal of going undefeated, and we've been determined to reach that goal.
Best in game is brought.
You got Oregon State at 5.5.
Their slogan is helping the world keep.
Yeah, so who knows,
promises, and
man?
I'll promise you this.
Nothing's a guarantee, but you
has
should be
run
all
on
right.
the Dukes. Look at these numbers. They allow 62 yards per game rushing, just over 2 yards per carry. They lead the nation in sacks, despite the fact that they lost their best defensive lineman in Jalen Green. But they've got a couple other guys who've been just terrific. And I know so far they're not going to be able to play in the postseason. There's no reason to think this program's going anywhere.
Yeah, they've won the last 13, obviously 10 of those games being this season, and they've done something that is unprecedented. In their transition to FBS from FCS, they've won more games than anybody in the history that has done the same exact thing, and I think it's because their quarterback, Jordan McLeod, is the real deal. On the ground, through the sky. They had like 547 yards against UConn. The week before that, Jordan McLeod threw for 300, ran for 100. They got weapons. This team, defensively stout with Kurt Signetti and that hard-nosed Yinzer West Virginia team. But on offense, they're explosive as well. Jordan McLeod, 24 years old, got a great team. It's a damn shame they can't play in a bowl, but when they play on the field, they're always stupendous this year.
Yeah, they're 18th in the AP poll. Think about that. They just left the FCS a couple years ago. Here they are in their second year in FBS, and they're 18th in the country and undefeated. They do everything you want. They're 51-8 in the last 5 years. And this JMU brand, it reminds me a lot of going way back to a program like Marshall, where they just won all the time at the FCS level. They came up to FBS. They just kept winning. It was one of those eras where they were always a top 25 team. That's kind of who they are. Yeah. And to me, all this attention when you get this, here comes App State, who we did this last year with. They did a Hail Mary to win that game. Just how do you handle all this? Is what you wanted. It's here. Yeah. Now you got to block it out and go play football against a good team.
I was going to ask their coach that question on the demo field because there's a lot of hype. Obviously the NCAA ruling came down. You're undefeated. Game day is here. We have a
26,000 strong.
26,000 strong. How do you get your guys to focus? Because App State would love to come in here and knock you off and erase that O and put a mark
cute
over
little
it.
story.
Yeah, exactly. So they better make sure that they're focused on this game. And McLeod is the truth, though. I love that quarterback they got, McLeod.
Florida boy.
Yeah, started his career at South Florida, went to Arizona, now here. And don't forget, I'll remind you again, Appalachian State can make it into the Sun Belt Championship game. They need to win today, and they get James Madison to help them.
Can't win anything.
Next week against Coastal.
Yeah, you guys stink, the NCAA says. Can't win nothing. Can't do anything.
They can still be perfect. You know who can win something? The Texas Longhorns. They're going to go into Jack Trice Stadium.
I'm excited for this Texas game. I think it's going to be a very good game. It's going to be a good game.
8 o'clock Eastern time. Now, the Jonathan Brooks injury for Texas, that's a big deal. He's 7th in the nation in rushing. Also, it's
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about Brooks.
Started the first couple games. He's gotten a lot of work.
I like Iowa State.
Cyclones got a really good rush defense.
Man, I don't know.
This cat right here.
I've been kind of back and forth on my opinion about this game.
Of the Longhorns, they get all the 5-star recruits. They have all the nicest stuff in the world. And
I don't know, guys. This could be an upset.
Well, there are people that have such a high ego that need to be checked. How about that quote? And he went on to say,
I'm a little bit worried about Iowa State's offense.
For them coming up tonight.
A little bit concerned at their ability to score. Take the under in that game, probably. I'd take the under.
comments, and he responded.
It's going to be like
media, simply saying,
24 to 23 or something. What is the total on that game?
That's one of those slang things that the kids use.
What is the
on
total on
media,
the
it was
Texas
not in any way
game?
any type of
Oh, it's 44 and a half.
44 and a half. I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that, especially with that particular
44 and a
team. I'll tell you
half,
what,
so
I'm
like
looking at the
23 to
Longhorns. I'm
20.
still trying to figure out they're a great team or a good team. They jumped out on TCU 26-6. And then the second half, they only scored a field goal.
It seems low.
Great teams are able to put teams away early. They weren't able to do that. Now, Pat, without Brooks at the running back position,
Very interesting.
I'm really concerned about this Texas offense.
44 and a half. I know it says 46 and a half on there, but FanDuel, they probably just didn't update their graphic.
Yards after contact
On FanDuel, it's 44 and a half.
So those little short games
Spread is 7.5. I'd take Iowa State. I'd take the
So they're
points.
going to be relying upon
I'd take the points
a
with the home
committee of
team.
folks. Let's watch some
That's a
film,
low
shall we?
total.
And Kyle back there in
Low
Bristol,
total.
the legend, says, there's no lone stars here.
A lot of the
It's
bets
gonna
are
be
on
running back by
Texas.
committee. Introducing C.J. Baxter, freshman, a little bit bigger, a little bit
Money line
stouter.
bets, I mean,
He's been
against
dealing with
Texas.
a foot injury all season, so he hasn't been able.
Yeah, I kind of
to
like
not
Iowa
break the
State to
tackles
cover.
that Jonathan Brooks
Maybe
has been
win.
able to do. He can wiggle, he can move. The scheme is good. Here's Jaden Blue, sophomore, speedster. This guy can hit it and get it. 9-yard, got the angle. Jaden Blue's out the gate. I think they will utilize C.J. Baxter and Blue out of the backfield to make up for what Brooks is. And how about Donnie Mitchell? Transfer out of Georgia, national champion. They run a fade there instead of a slant. Wide open, body control, no problem for Quinn Ewers. And then, Des, what do they say? If he's even,
he's leaving.
And that is the truth for Xavier Worthy. He's speed outside. They got weapons in abundance. They lose their best one in Jonathan Brooks. How does Quinn Ewers, how does Sark, how does Texas utilize these other weapons?
I like
that
the
they
under
have?
in that
Because
game.
They got big dreams ahead of them. And they need to
I
get
think
through the
Texas
cyclone.
defense
Yeah.
shows up. I think Iowa
they've
State's
gone
only
there the last
chance is
couple times, they've lost
defense.
football games. They've lost 3 of the last 4 to Iowa State.
It's going to be like...
They have Texas's attention. Keep this in mind. Jonathan Brooks, it's not just the numbers.
It's going to be like 23 to 17.
It's the
Texas
attitude
by
that
6.
Jonathan Brooks brought in the second half of this season.
Something like
Remember,
that.
Baxter was the starter when they broke camp. I mean, he was the guy before he got hurt. Add one more name to Pat's Chase. Jatavian Sanders, the tight end. Remember we were all marveling at him during the Alabama game, what a great weapon he is. He sprains his ankle before OU. He's kind of been playing in pain. I think he's getting healthier and healthier. Be a great compliment today to that short intermediate passing game to go along with how they can run the football. They got to have all hands on deck against the Clones today.
And Sanders will certainly be engaged. He's the one that reacted first, at least, to the quotes from the Iowa State offensive lineman. This is what's going on in the Big 12. You know, there's a 4-way tie for second place in the Big 12. So a bunch of these games have an impact on who might play in the championship game. There is a combination that would get Texas in the title game already if the Longhorns win and they get the right losses elsewhere. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear.
Guys, did I just lose the stream?
College game.
I think this is saying the stream's gone now. I still see you guys in the chat. Let me switch something. And my bad if I'm messing everything up. I don't know if the chat's still up. Let me check.